door, my money piling. I keep me a 40 for the game be sliding. We got foreigns on the road, little shawty crying. You ain't gon' miss me when I'm gone. My shooter silent. Don't say no name, they know the code. That hoe be trifling. Why do I love her? I don't know. My haters smiling. That fuck shit miss me, then I'm gone.
What's going on, guys? Hope you're all having a great day. I chose this exact location because it's one of my last videos here in Hawaii. As you guys know, in 3 days we're going to be taking the truck to the port and getting it shipped to Atlanta, Georgia, where I will pick it up and then start making videos in the continental United States, which I'm really excited about. But I chose this location because this is one of the first spots I shot a video in when I first got the truck's new rims and tires on, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Running 12 wides on your truck, the pros and cons of it. The pros, it looks great, but there are some cons about it that you need to know about and be aware of before you go ahead and buy some. If this is your first time stopping in for the channel, thank you for tuning in. Consider subscribing. I've done a lot of things to the truck, recorded it all for you guys, made videos on everything from cosmetic upgrades all the way to beefy engine mods, so be sure you check those out if you're maybe interested in it. But with that said, we'll jump right into today's video, guys. So as you guys can see, the stance looks great on this truck. By the way, I have -44 offset, so that helps them stick out a little bit farther than regular 12.5 wides. But the specs on the tires are 33 by 12.5 by 20. The specs on the rims are 20 by 12 with a -44 offset. Now, why I have you set up in the back is one, to show you the stance and how wide they're sticking out, and then two, to talk about the rock chips. That's the number one topic we're going to be talking about today, because when I bought this truck, there were no rock chips on it whatsoever, and I'm thinking about getting a new paint job. So if I do get a new paint job, I'm going to put that clear protection layer. I don't know what it's exactly called, but I know that you can buy something that protects against rock chips. Now, see if we can see all of these things right here. These are fine rock chips that were not there when I bought the truck and put the 12.5 wides on. So it's just something you got to live with. And I don't live on a rocky road, and I don't, work on a rocky road whatsoever. I never drive on rocky roads. It's just, even the regular roads can provide rock chips, and it's just like this on the other side. So it's one thing you got to consider that might happen to you if you buy 12.5 wides. Another con, and probably the most important and the most annoying con about running 12.5 wides, is on some trucks, like for instance the truck I have right here sitting in front of you, a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500, the wheel wells are not meant for offset, a lot of offset or wide tires in general. As you guys can see right in this area right here, I did use an angle grinder, cutting wheel, and grinded that off because I was rubbing a ton when I first threw these tires on, and it was super annoying. Like, I couldn't even turn in my parking spot. And now I still rub even with that grinded off. I will show you on the other side, the driver's side, because I typically rub on this side a lot more just based on how I pull into my spot at home. But as you guys know, I made a video about painting the wheel wells, and I already kind of jacked this one up a little bit because I keep rubbing on the inside of this wheel well. So it's just another thing to consider when buying really wide tires. You are going to rub, even if you do grind and fabricate a little bit, you still are going to rub just a tad at a full turn. And I'm not even always at a full turn when I start to rub. I probably can get about an 80% turn until I start to rub, and like I said, that's still with grinding a little bit off and doing a little bit of fabricating from the stock setup. Another thing we have to consider, but we all have to live with and we all have to deal with, because at the end of the day, we chose to run this, but it is still a negative, so I'm going to throw it in there, and that's of course local law enforcement always having it out for you, always trying to pull you over if they see you in town. I haven't had to deal with that too much here in Hawaii, because literally from the time I leave my neighborhood to the time I get at work, it's all highway, and the highway cops are looking mainly at speeders. The city cops is what you have to worry about when it comes to 12 wides here in Hawaii, which, like I said, I only have a few more days left here anyway, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But they're mainly looking for speeders on the highway, so I've been really lucky not to really have to deal with the cops too much about my wide tires or my illegal tint or really anything I've done to this truck. They haven't really worried too much about me because I never speed. I drive this thing like a grandpa most of the time, so never really have too bad of luck with cops. So that's another thing you have to consider. I mean, most states you can't have tires sticking out the wheel wells. Now, a lot of the southern states, like for instance Florida and I believe Alabama, I don't think they care at all. I know in Florida at least they don't, and if there is a law about it, nobody enforces it, because Never had any problems when I was in Florida growing up. But that's pretty much it, guys. That is the 3 things you have to worry about. Rock chips is a big one. Like I said, when I do get the new paint job put on here after I build the transmission, that's one thing I'm gonna look into. And then the rubbing issues, it can get quite annoying rubbing in when you're parking in like tight parking spots and things like that where you have to make a full turn. I hate it. I cringe every single time I make a single rub, but it's just what we have to deal with. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't regret for 1 second getting 12.5 wides. That's not what this video is about. This video is not a regretting video. This video is not about, you know, me telling you how I regret getting these 12.5 wides. It's just me showing and explaining to you guys that, hey, there's some things you got to think about when getting 12.5 wides, and if you want to get 12.5 wides, you're just gonna have to live with a couple things like rubbing every once in a while, rock chips, depending on your setup, of course. Rubbing all completely depends on your setup. Of course, if you have a 6-inch lift on 35s, you'll be fine. You probably won't rub whatsoever. But if you have a leveling kit, just like I'm running right now on this specific truck, every truck, of course, is different with the wheel well sizes, but on this specific truck, if you're running a leveling kit with, these are 33s, like I said in the beginning of the video, you might have some rubbing issues. I don't know if you guys are military guys, but I got about 6 Chinooks out here. There's an Apache and a Black Hawk over there hovering. And I actually did school out here. I got to rappel out of these helicopters, not in this exact spot. You know, we loaded up right here. Then we went out to a range, got to rappel out of helicopters, got to do a lot of training out there. One of the best experiences of my life. Rappelling out of these helicopters is so much fun. If I could do it every single day, I would. But that is gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, please leave a like, helps a ton. Now, as I was leaving the house, there was a huge upgrade that was sitting in a box that it kind of surprised me because I wasn't expecting to get it this early. I was actually gonna expect to ship it in my household goods and then do it once I get to Alabama. I was gonna do it over there, but I might be able to squeeze it. I just might be able to squeeze it in before I ship the truck in 3 days. I don't know, but it is a pretty big upgrade. I know you guys will love it. I hope I can fit it in, but no promises, guys. I'm really gonna try. But if it does happen, it's gonna be awesome, and that video will be out in the next few days. So hopefully I will see you in that one. If not, you'll probably see the next video of me shipping the truck on the docks, but I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, finally made it back home. We're going to get the air compressor unloaded. Also, we're going to do the unboxing, show you guys exactly what I got from. Pretty excited to show you this stuff. It's going to be some really good stuff, and I can't wait to see the results.
I'ma throw that. I spread the wealth.